So have you ever heard the saying that failing to plan is planning to fail? Now that's extremely true when it comes to an RV trip. And before you start mapping out your journey or booking campgrounds, there are some critical things you must consider first to really avoid disaster. And in this video, we're going to share with you 7 things you absolutely must know before you even start planning. Plus a little later, I'm gonna talk about a little known resource about finding unique places to stay. So let's jump in with thing number 1, and that is assess and inspect your RV. Now, before you hit the road, it is vital to ensure that your RV is in top condition. You want to conduct a thorough inspection of your RV and your vehicle that you're going to either be towing or bringing along, including the engine, if it's a drivable RV, and then especially things like the brakes and the tires and the lights and all of the internal systems, including plumbing and electrical. And something you want to make sure you have with you as well is a good water filter, because quality water from campground to campground and state to state can really greatly vary. So one thing we learned early on when traveling is how important it is to have consistent water quality. And that's why we use the Camco Taste Pure water filter, because the new and improved Taste Pure technology has an advanced 6-step filtration technology that reduces unpleasant tastes, odors, lead, chlorine, bacteria, sediment, and heavy metals, and includes KDF technology, which controls bacteria and mold growth. We'll have a link in the description below for the Taste Pure filter on Amazon, but you can also find it at your retailer of choice, including Walmart or your local RV dealer. And don't forget to inspect things like the water and the waste tanks. And if you're not comfortable doing this yourself, consider getting a professional RV inspection. This is a crucial step to prevent any breakdowns or potential mishaps when you're miles away from home. So the next thing that you absolutely must do is, in planning your route, make sure that you do that carefully. While spontaneity can definitely add some excitement to your trip, having a well thought out route is essential. You're gonna wanna research the roads you're gonna be traveling on and consider factors like tunnel height, weight limits, and narrow roads. This is where we use our Garmin RV GPS to help us plan those routes and keep us on RV-friendly roads. But also think about the availability of RV-friendly stops along the way, and pet-friendly if you're traveling with your furry companions. And just in case you're wondering, no, you can't take your RV through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A. Not recommended. Make sure that you're looking for those RV-friendly types of pit stops. The next thing is to check the weather conditions and travel advisories. Now, weather can significantly impact your travel plans. So before setting out, check the forecast for your route and destination and be prepared to adjust your plans if severe weather is expected. Additionally, stay informed about travel advisories or restrictions in the areas you plan to visit, especially in light of recent events like wildfires in some areas.
Tonight, howling winds and thick smoke filling the skies in the Texas Panhandle.
Or other seasonal considerations like snow in the mountains. And be sure to pack your clothing accordingly. I actually keep some rain ponchos in the RV just for those in-case times. The next thing is to go ahead and secure those necessary reservations, and not just for campgrounds. Some destinations, especially popular national parks, require timed entry reservations during peak times. And the last thing you want to do is arrive to that bucket list destination like Glacier National Park and then not be able to get in. Another place we learned this firsthand was in the Florida Keys and visiting Dry Tortugas. We did not realize that the one and only ferry that will take you to Dry Tortugas books up way in advance. And we arrived to our campground and started looking at the different activities we would want to do that week. And then we learned the tickets for the ferry sold out way in advance, and there was 1 ticket left. And obviously with a family of 4, that wasn't gonna work. So we had to choose other things to do and see. And then the next time we went to the Florida Keys, we booked 3 months in advance to secure those tickets for the ferry. Now, this is held true for many other popular bucket list places we've been at as well, and this can be a steep learning curve to learn. So if you're planning on visiting a certain area, make sure to check far in advance about the necessary reservations or tickets that may be needed. Now, here is the second part of the equation, and that is campground reservations. Now, here's the thing. Campgrounds for popular destinations do and will book up quickly, sometimes up to a year in advance. And this especially holds for cheaper campgrounds like state parks and national parks. And this is where we love using a service we were introduced to a little over a year ago called Arvie, which is also the sponsor of this video. Now, not only is Arvie a time saver when looking for campgrounds, but one of our favorite ways that we use Arvie personally is to find and book near impossible campsite reservations at some of the greatest parks in America. Now, I've scored these reservations due to cancellations at several top-rated state parks during peak seasons. So think about it. Many people have already made reservations for this coming summer, and we all know that plans can and do change. And as a result, there's actually dozens of campground cancellations that happen on a daily basis. So when I have a sold out search set up using Arvie, as soon as there is a cancellation, Arvie doesn't just notify me of the cancellation, but they book it for me. I've tried several of the alert services in the past where you get an alert of an opening at a state or national park campground, but every time I would get these alerts, as luck would have it, we were out and about on paddle boards in a river or somewhere where I didn't have phone access, or sometimes the alerts would come in the middle of the night when I have my phone silenced. So of course, by the time I go to check the spot, it'd already be gone. So Arvie works so well because it auto books that site as soon as it becomes available. And our followers and viewers continue to share their experiences with us about how they RV'd their campsite in various situations, from last minute cancellations to trips for next week, next month, or even next year. Arvie members have the peace of mind knowing that Arvie is always looking and always booking for them nonstop 24/7, 365. You can try Arvie for free at gratefulglamper.com/Arvie. And if you decide to get started using Arvie to make those reservations, we've partnered with Arvie for an exclusive 10% off the membership options. The details are all in the description below, or visit the link to learn more. And a huge thanks to Arvie for sponsoring this video and their continued support of our channel. Now, number 5, absolutely must do before you even start planning, is to budget accordingly. RV trips can really vary widely in cost depending upon factors like current fuel prices, campground fees, and costs for places you want to go see. On the trip planning sheet that I created for myself to keep me organized, I have a column for all of our projected costs. This helps us know before we even set off for that route what our projected costs are going to be. And this just helps us avoid financial stress by not having to worry about how much is this really costing us. And many times I've actually been able to stay under our projected budget by using our Open Roads fuel card and by looking for deals when it comes to attractions. So number 6, pack smart. Now, packing for an RV trip involves more than just throwing clothes and food into your vehicle. You're gonna wanna consider the space and weight limitations and weight distribution, especially if you have a towable RV. Now, you can make a checklist of essentials, including tools, first aid supplies, and don't forget about outdoor gear like chairs, maybe a portable grill. We have our Blackstone and we really love it. And maybe a portable outdoor tent to enhance your camping experience. Oh, and Alaska wants to remind you about the time that I forgot dog food.
One time, my owners forgot dog food, but it was all okay because I got to eat mac and cheese and bacon. I'm kind of hoping they forget dog food again because mac and cheese is my new favorite.
I'll put a link below to our packing list and our trip planner that you can download for just some free inspiration in creating a trip planner and packing list of your own. So number 7 is to prepare for connectivity. Now, if staying connected is something important to you, prepare for varying levels of internet access and cell service on your trip. Now, depending upon your carrier, you can take a look at their coverage map to determine if you're going to have service in the areas you're going to be visiting. You may want to consider investing in a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot or a system like Starlink if you plan on being in a more remote location for an extended period of time. So definitely take time to prepare so your RV trip becomes more rewarding and less of a disaster. If you want to check out our experiences over things limited time in my RVing era shirt, you can visit gratefulglamper.com/shop. And if you want to learn more about how I plan our trips and how I use the trip planning spreadsheet, you can check that out right up here.
You're probably getting pretty warm.
I am getting warm.